Welcome to Design and Build an Irresistible Customer Journey. I am your host, Coco Salmon, five-time founder, impact investor, and creator of the Force for Good business system. So I am here today to help you unpack your customer journey. It's really putting your customer at the center of your universe rather than your business, your product, your operations, which is oftentimes where we get stuck. It's through this experience that you're going to see things a little differently than if you didn't step into the shoes of your customer. So I invite you to ask yourself, do you ever wonder why your marketing isn't converting, even when your product or service is excellent? And have you ever invested countless hours in delivering a great service, but your customers rarely become loyal advocates? Are you tired of guessing what your customers truly feel, think, and want at every stage? Would you love to create a business where your customer experience fuels unstoppable growth? This masterclass today was designed for you. You will find out in chapter 7 of A Force for Good, the book, that studying your customer journey helps you identify where your customer most needs you, where they are stuck, where they're frustrated, where they're needing things that are unspoken, and where you can step up as a company and be there for them in remarkable ways. It will also help you craft, and we talk about this in another masterclass on the area of chosen greatness, which is one of my favorite topics. It helps you unveil where in your customer's journey you choose to be truly great. This is a precursor step to helping you accomplish that important piece of the puzzle. So what is the 17-step customer journey? The 17-step customer journey is one of the core growth elements of the Force for Good system. The 17-step customer journey is a structured process that guides you and your team to see your business, your products, and your services through your customers' eyes. The journey you create is the story your customers will tell. So you want to make this journey worth repeating. So what we're going to do today is unpack what they are experiencing now, and it will reveal to you places where you want to improve. You'll see moments where they need you to step up and be great. You'll see places where your customer service isn't shining, where your ability to serve them is falling flat, where you're coming in too late, where you're giving the wrong message because you're thinking about your company and your product rather than really understanding what it's like to be in your customer's shoes. We're going to walk through using your shared avatar description that's part of another masterclass. We're going to use that shared avatar and walk through the 17-step journey your customer takes. It's a detailed map of how this one single customer learns about your company, considers your offerings, decides to buy, experiences those moments of onboarding and customer support, overcomes the challenges of figuring out how to use your product and services, how to engage with your company, deal with billing and payments, all the different ways they interact with you after they've become a customer. And then ultimately, they receive the value that you've promised, receive the transformation, the promise of your company. So we're going to think about that 17-step journey. Those steps I just outlined are the big buckets of the customer journey. And we're going to look at it through 5 lenses of the customer's experience. So physically, what are they seeing, hearing, and doing is the first lens. The second lens is as they're going through the physical experience, what are they thinking? What are the thoughts going through your customer's shared avatar mind? What does this person believe? What questions are they having? What resistance do they have? What objections are they experiencing? What desires are popping up? Not through the mind of your product or service or systems, but through the mind of that shared avatar. And then you're going to think about, well, if this is the physical experience and the thoughts they're having, how are they feeling? How are they feeling? What is she feeling? And how strongly is she feeling? And there's certain moments along the customer journey you're going to see that feelings run high. And those are particular places to notice, because when you find those moments in your customer experience, you can take notice and do something. And so then you'll see interactions. Who and what is the customer engaging with? And then what are the background systems and tools that are shaping her journey? Things like billing and background systems and email responses that are contributing to her experience, but she doesn't necessarily identify, well, I just got your email series, but she got the email and she had the experience. And then something happened and for some reason her bill was wrong. So you're going to walk through the customer journey from the moment she learns about your company and has a need to the moment that she receives transformation and ultimately becomes a ambassador for your company, and all the places in between. You'll see there's certain areas you want to really tighten up and make better. And then there's others that are okay the way they are because they're less important to your customer. You can start to give weight to where you can improve and what's really needed. Great. So every step of your customer's experience holds a hidden invitation to build trust, delight, and devotion. Become truly remarkable in the eyes of your customer. Every step is a chance to build trust, delight, remove friction, inspire loyalty. It's also every step is a chance to lose that customer forever. So every step is important, and you'll see where is most important, where you can reduce friction and create an easier, more positive experience. We want to build a journey that helps them feel like you're the right company to serve their needs. Think about how this fits in to the bigger picture. So the Force for Good system is a elevated means of growing high impact, high growth companies that generate prosperity for all those involved. We have a flywheel of core growth elements, and each masterclass we focus on one or two of those core growth elements. Today we're focused on the 17-step customer journey, and that helps us reveal a lot about our customer. We're going to use a specific tool called the Customer Journey Map. If you download it this week, you can get it for free at a forceforgood.biz/weekly-tool. This is a tool we're going to use to walk through the journey itself and help you define your customer journey through those 5 lenses of experience. You'll also be able to develop one specific habit that allows the journey of the customer to come back to you again and again and to your team, so that the work you do today pays off in dividends for years to come. And you'll identify one action to help you really move your customer experience forward. So that is where we are going today. This is one of those exercises that it feels like, do I really need to do this? I feel like I already know my customer. I have too many things to do. It's overwhelming and time sensitive. I understand. These are the reasons why we get in our way to not do this. We're too focused on the transactions, not thinking about the big transformational process we're trying to lead. And we also underestimate how strategic this clarity can be. So what I invite you to do as we embark on this journey is to let yourself have the freedom to just do the exercise today. See the 17 steps for what they are, accept that right now they are just fine, and that you're going to experience at least one insight that's really going to help you understand why you're valuable to your customer. It's going to help you unlock what it's like to be your customer. So don't wait for customers to tell you what's broken in your process. Map the journey and you'll know what's broken and where to be delightful, and where to step up before they ever say a word. So what are the 17 steps? First, they experience a problem, need, or desire. Then they become aware of your company. Then they have an initial interaction with your company. And as I read these, imagine a customer, your shared avatar, that one person, and imagine what it is for them to go through these steps. So they have the initial interaction with your company, like on a website or meeting you at an event or one of your salespeople. They have an initial connection with your company. They learn about your company and solutions. They have experiences that invite them to be a customer. They decide to say, yes, I want to be a customer. And then they actually say yes. And then they are onboarded as a customer. That could be as quick as a sign up online, or it might be a more involved process if you need to sign contracts. Then they are signing agreements and making payments. Then they receive the product or service in whatever form it comes. They experience the product or service. So they receive it and then they experience it, they consume it, they use it, whatever that product or service is. Then somewhere along the line, they're going to experience some issues or challenges. Hopefully there's going to be problem resolutions, and they're going to buy again and again and become a loyal customer and then an ambassador for your company. A remarkable business isn't built in conference rooms or boardrooms. It's built in the unseen moments where your customers decide to believe in your company. So we want to craft 17 or more steps that create that powerful experience. So the lenses, as we talked about a little before, is the physical, the thinking, the feeling and intensity, the interactions with tools and people from your company, and the systems happening in the background. So your marketing systems, social media systems, sales systems, product manufacturing systems, scheduling systems, most not consciously experienced by the customer, but somewhere in their awareness, they know these systems exist. So we're going to walk through the experience through these 5 lenses. So we'll be using the Savvy Shoelaces example, our fictitious company of Savvy Shoelaces, as we model the customer journey map today. We've got Julie, who is a mother of 5-year-old Pearl, who doesn't know how to tie her shoes. And Julie is trying to solve that problem. In the first experience, step 1, they're experiencing a problem. For example, I'm modeling for you how this is going to work. So in step 1, experiencing a problem, the physical experience is that Pearl, the little girl, who is the child of Julie, Pearl is the 5-year-old daughter. Pearl is shrieking in frustration, trying to tie her shoes. That's the physical moment that Julie, our customer, experiences the problem. Julie thinks, how can I fix this? And how is Julie feeling in this moment? She's feeling overwhelmed and frustrated. And she has an interaction with Savvy Shoelaces because she notices another child at kindergarten pickup with bright shoelaces who is having success tying her shoes with these really cool shoelaces. And so far, she hasn't experienced any systems. So that's step one. Later in the journey, we run ahead to after she's purchased the shoelaces and we get to step 14 as an example for you. We look through the 5 lenses. First, physical. She is having a problem with the shoelaces. She goes to the website, clicks the help link. And her thought is, I hope someone can help me. And the feeling that she's having is hope and relief as she has this interaction where she has a phone call with a supportive customer service representative who's able to help guide her on how to use the shoelaces better with her child. And the system that's being used is a customer support platform that's in the background. So that's how this works, right? We're going to see each of the steps, and we're going to look at it through Julie. The last step here is becoming an ambassador. This is Julie way into the future, and she's bought lots of shoelaces for her daughter, Pearl. She's given them away at every birthday party she goes to. She gives them to every child she knows. And now she is sharing a video on Instagram about Savvy Shoelaces. And she is passionate. Her thinking is, I'm passionate because other moms need to know about these shoelaces so they can help their children have this positive experience. And this is helping her feel empowered and excited. She's interacting with social media and the larger community. And the systems that are running are the digital marketing tools in the background. So this is how it's going to work. We're going to look at each stage of the journey. We're going to think about it in terms of one person, our shared avatar in the 4-page growth plan. We're going to make updates. The 4 pages is everything you need to know to unlock growth in your business. The flywheel is all the core growth elements put together that help accelerate impact, scale, and profit, help you exponentially grow your company. And so the flywheel, all those core growth elements appear on the 4 pages. On page 1 and 2 is know who you serve. So when we go through the customer journey, you're going to be able to see places where you can make updates to your 4-page plan. You'll be able to better know who they are, what they need. You might decide to revise your who, what statement. You might be able to identify more triggers under the why section. You might be able to better position yourself. Remember, we have masterclasses and tools for each of these specific topics, but the 17-step customer journey can help you refine these elements. Also, will definitely help you identify your chosen area of greatness, the one place you choose to be great as a company, the 3 customer experience improvements. That's also an important question. At all times, we want to be improving our customer experience. So this is going to help you see where that is. It's also going to help you design your customer enrollment and retention funnel. This is where we map out the mechanics of how we bring customers in and enroll them to be customers, and then eventually have them become loyal customers and ambassadors. So that is what we're up to today. Okay. So we are looking at the customer journey map. And so the first step is constructing your avatar. And we have a whole other masterclass on that. But let's go ahead and have your customer journey map in front of you. And if you don't already have this piece done, we'll walk through it so that you can put these elements down. You want to identify one idea of a person. Your shared avatar, I advise for it to be fictional. So you go ahead in this first section and you've got the name, the age, the gender. This is who your shared avatar is, where they live, where they went to school, their occupation, their annual income, what their marital status is, whether they have children, pets. Take a moment to identify your avatar's demographics. And then home in on the psychographic information. These include what are the values and beliefs. In our example, we have Julie loves being a mom, wants to make sure her daughter Pearl has everything she needs. Education is important to her. Julie is a Democrat who fights for equity and justice for underrepresented people. Gay herself, she's active in the LGBT community. So, what are the values and beliefs of your customer? This is a shared avatar. You're going to share it with others in your company. Be able to say, okay, let's talk about marketing today and let's write it to Julie, right? Give the person a name and a personality that you can share, and it's going to empower you to align your team and all get on the same page. So next, under the psychographics, after you have values and beliefs, next is interests and hobbies. What are activities they enjoy? To which clubs, memberships do they belong? Do they have sport teams or other types of interests? What do they love? What do they do for culture? What do they do for fun? So for Julie, she's a longtime New York Yankees fan, belongs to the Park Slope Food Co-op, plays softball in Prospect Park on Sundays, and visits the library with Pearl 2 or 3 times a week. Okay. So what is your day in the life of your customer with a shared avatar look like? And again, just make it up. What is the lifestyle? What are the daily routines, social activities, and travel habits? What did they do last Saturday? What are they doing for social fun with friends in the next week? So in the case of Julie, she's doing kindergarten pickup and drop off at Brooklyn Montessori. She runs home and works for a few hours as a bookkeeper. She meets up with other moms and kids in the park or at the museum and loves a picnic with a concert in the park with her daughter and her spouse, Martha. All right. So then we go on, we find out about their vacations. What kind of vacations do they prefer? You find out about their health. What's their health look like? Are they living a healthy, active lifestyle? Or are they sedentary? Are they struggling with their health? Is there some health concern or need that's in their life? So write down whatever that might be. What are the things they like to read? What books or magazines? What do they listen to? What kinds of books are they listening to if they're audiobook listeners? When they go to the library, what do they pick up? What genres? What specific titles? Julie loves the book Untamed by Glennon Doyle. That's specific. She likes certain magazines. She likes National Geographic, Sierra Magazine, and New Yorker, and The Advocate. These all reflect her interests. She loves sustainability and advocacy. She listens to several podcasts, including The Longest, Shortest Time and How Women Inspire. Write down the media that your avatar loves to consume. And music. What kind of music do they look like? What's the genre, the favorite artist, streaming services? What's their favorite song? How would you describe their personality? Extroverted, introverted, adventurous, curious? And then what social causes or charities do they support? Do they care about? And what are their goals and aspirations? And what are their personal and professional goals and desires and dreams? You want to mix this between their personal and whatever goals they have specifically with your company. The example here is Julie. Her goal is to provide the best education and upbringing for her daughter, Pearl. She wants to maintain a healthy, active lifestyle with her family. She also wants to continue to be an active and supportive member of the LGBTQ community. And she's also completing her MBA and advancing her career in accounting. So she wants to foster a supportive and loving environment for her family. This gets right to the heart of who she is as a person. And not just, okay, she wants her daughter to learn how to tie shoes. Next, imagine this person has come across your company. How did they find your company? How did they find your company? Did they do an active Google search? And if they did, what did they search for? Did a friend recommend, or did they see somebody using the product? Or did they see it on TikTok? Were they at a conference? Did they see it on a billboard or a radio ad? Did they hear about it on a podcast that they listened to? So in the case of Julie came across Savvy Kid shoelaces when picking up her daughter at kindergarten. She sees another child using the wide, colorful laces and notices the child successfully making the bunny ears, while at the same time, Julie's trying to help Pearl tie her own shoelaces. So that's the moment that she sees, wow, those are interesting shoelaces. She doesn't even know the company name, but that's how you come into contact with a company. Don't even know the name. Your avatar sees something somewhere that says, yeah, I want that. What is that? I got to know more. So what's that moment for your customer? All right, now you have a specific avatar in mind. Take a moment to write their name down, their age, and a little bit of who they are. Circle it so it's right in front of you. You are going to think about these questions as we go through this exercise for this one person. And so you don't have to know what happens for every customer in every situation. You just need to know for this one customer. And I'm going to invite you to trust that revealing the path of one customer is going to unlock your ability to understand what happens for every other customer with all their nuances. We're going to take the customer journey. We're going to go through each 17 steps. First step, customer experience is a problem. Okay. What happens for this customer when they experience a problem? So think of your avatar and write down, what is that first step? So in this case, not in her throat as Pearl shrieks with frustration. So that's what she physically experiences. What happens for your customer? They experience the problem associated with your company and your solution. And what are they thinking as they have that moment? How can I make it stop? How can I make it easier? What are the thoughts? Name the feelings they're having as they are experiencing the problem. Is it frustration? Is it curiosity? Is it some kind of desire? Is it anger? What are they feeling? And then you're going to look for interactions. What are the interactions they're having? With Julie, she's seeing the laces on another child. What are the interactions your customer has in that first step? And then what are the systems? Maybe this has to do with the product itself, as it is here. Bright colors, wide width, these intentional pieces of the product itself. So what are they experiencing that's part of the systems that you've designed so that they create, so you're creating this customer experience? All right, moving to the next step. Now they've experienced a problem and then they become aware of your company. How does your avatar become aware of your company after they have discovered they have a problem? Do they Google search something? So what is it? They Google search? Do they see your company featured at an event? Do they see you speaking at a conference or one of your salespeople? In the case of Julie, Julie asks the mom where she got the shoelaces. And the thought she's having is, please let it be somewhere I can get quickly. And she's starting to feel curious, determined, and hopeful. She's getting to see the laces more clearly. She's seeing how the child is tying them. The other mom is like, oh, look, take a look at these, my kids' shoelaces. And now Julie's there looking at the shoelaces and Pearl's looking at the shoelaces. So what happens for your avatar? And then what are the systems that are guiding this background experience? The bright colors, wide width, shows where you put your hands, easily tie your shoes. Moving to step 3. This is the initial interaction with your company. And sometimes this all happens super fast, right? And sometimes it just takes weeks or months, right? When do they have that initial interaction? How does it come about? How do they reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? What happens? In this case, Julie Googles the company. She Googles Savvy Shoelaces and she goes to the website. That's physically what she does. And the thoughts in her mind are, came right up in Google. That's good. Hopefully that's the case for your business, right? Comes right up in Google, no problem. But when it's Savvy Shoelaces, it's like number 5. She might get distracted and go to these other ones. So you want to make sure this is an opportunity, right? Make it easy. No friction. Savvy Shoelaces comes up and now she can do whatever she wants to do next. How she feels in being able to find it, she feels a little hopeful. She feels a little calm. And so what is happening in the background? What are the interactions? She's had a Google ad that she's come across, and she's also coming across your website. Those are the things she's now interacting with. And the systems in place are your search engine optimization management, the keywords, Google ads. Those are the things that's making it possible for this interaction to take place, right? So what is that initial interaction? Is it at a conference? Is it on a podcast? Next, we go to step 4. They have an initial connection with your company. So the first is an interaction and next is a connection. She's on the website. Website shows a short video with lots of smiling kids in shoes. And she has the thought, who knew a company like this existed? And now she's curious and hopeful. And then she's interacting. Again, what is she interacting with? The website and the kids video. This could be totally different for your company, but now she's interacting with the company. She's starting to taste the company's content or talk to the people that are part of your company. And so then the interactions are the websites and the kids videos, and the systems making that possible is the marketing, the website, content management. So that's your step 4. Step 5 is learning about your company and solutions. So now she's starting to dig in. She's scrolling the homepage. She's found how the laces work. She's like, I like that it's backed by neuroscience. She's learning about the product, and it's telling her that the kids learn 30% faster to tie shoelaces. This is helping her feel confident about these shoelaces, ready to maybe buy. She's on the website. She's looking at images. She's looking at statistics. These are the things she's interacting with. And then the systems that are creating this experience, the marketing, the copywriter, the content management. Then we go down to step 6. Step 6 is experiences that invite them to be a customer. If you have a solution where you're going through many steps, instead of a website, you're actually meeting with them, this is going to look very different, right? What does the experience look like for you to invite them to be a customer? So in the case of Julie, she sees a button on the website that says, get laces here. This takes Julie to a screen with 12 options. She thinks, wow, that's a lot of cool designs and colors. She feels excited, hopeful, anticipation, confident. Now she's interacting with the shoelace sales pages with options to select quantity and buy. This is where she's getting the invitation to buy something. And this is all part of the marketing system, shopping cart system. There's some kind of integration with finance. Now we go to step 7. This is the moment when your avatar says, yes, I'm going to buy. So what does that look like? In the case of Julie, it's clicking on add to cart. And the thought is, I like this one. Let's start with 2 designs. And she's feeling focused, ready, thoughtful. She is interacting with the purchase pages and the friendly words on the page. This is a part of the marketing systems and the shopping cart experience. Step 8 is where she actually says yes. So there's a moment where she decides to say yes, and then she actually says yes. Notice that there's 2 different moments. So saying yes is where she enters her credit card and shipping information into the shopping cart page. And she's thinking, great, they use Apple Pay, so this will be quick. She's continuing to feel ready and hopeful and confident. The interaction she's having is with a great shopping cart system that she's familiar with, all part of your shopping cart system, part of that shopping cart integration with finances, part of your billing and collection system. And so that's step 8. And now step 9. This is where your customer is onboarded. They click on buy and are taken to the order confirmation page. Great. It says they will be here in 2 days. She's feeling hopeful. She's feeling satisfied. She's feeling complete. Now she's seeing the order confirmation with friendly messaging. That's the interaction. She's now on that page. And now in the background is the logistics system to send her order to the warehouse and get it shipped. So this could also be you're sending out a consulting team. If you're a services company, how do you assemble that? How do you reach out to them and say, oh, thank you. Now we're going to introduce you to your team who is going to help you. What is your avatar experiencing in this moment when they're onboarded as a customer? This is oftentimes where we are not as good. So just tell the truth. What happens right now, and then you can see quickly how you can do better. So now we're going to step 10. Step 10 is where they sign agreements and make payments. In this case, in this Julie case, step 8 and 9 actually happen together because you click on the buy and the Apple Pay works and we get the payment. In some cases, you sign a contract and then your billing systems start to take place. And there's a process for that. So this step 10 is designed for companies where it's not automatically taken. Number 9 and 10 are separate. You need a separate line to talk about how you're going to get payments. Or you're going to set up invoices that go out every 30 days. What happens this first time? Do they get introduced to a person? Does somebody else reach out to them automatically? What does the customer experience? How much time passes before they get this communication, right? Same day, same hour, same week, right? Is step number 11, they receive the product or service. The email provides a video instruction on the day the product arrives in the mail. How about that? Wow, that's perfect timing. Cool. The video is for me and Pearl. Waits her 2 days, and now here she gets an email, and same day, she gets her shoelaces. So now she's feeling hopeful, excited, optimistic. And so what is she interacting with? The email, the video instruction for the child, and with the product, the packaging, etc. So the systems that are in place are the logistics, the packaging, the shipping, the tracking, and the email coordination to make sure the email arrives at the same time as the product. Next is 12. Step 12. They experience the product or service. So take the product out of the box, insert them into the shoe, turn on the video. And she has this question. They are a little tricky getting on. I hope this works. Think about what are those first moments looking like? She's cautious, she's questioning, she's nervous. And then she's interacting with the packaging, the instructions on the card, the video instructions, the email, the systems in the background, the trial instruction, the video production, the marketing. Then she goes on to step 13. They experience issues or challenges. Pearl and Julie watch the video. Pearl gets frustrated and there are tears. And then what happens? What is the thinking for Julie? Oh no, these stupid things don't work. Okay, stay calm. Let's try again. So now she's feeling nervous, panicked, upset, focused, and determined. And she goes back. She interacts with the laces. She's looking at the laces. She's looking at the video. She's looking at the instruction card. So all the systems, the child instruction video, the production, the marketing, all of that. So next, step 14 is the problem resolution. Julie sees a help button and links to more videos and help. So she clicks on that link. Help sounds good is what she's thinking. Wow, the lady on the phone knew just how to help. Now she's feeling relieved and confident and hopeful. And so she's got 5 more fun videos with more instructions and the customer service line. That's what she's interacting with. The systems are the child instruction videos, the customer service operations, all working together, right? There's enough there that the support guides her to get what she needs. She doesn't give up and remains a customer. This is a big moment. She buys 2 more pairs the next week. She loves the fun designs and feels excited, happy, and satisfied every time she buys them. Here's the website, the marketing, logistics, customer service, finance. Step 14 is becoming a loyal customer. So buys every time a child she knows turns 5, right? This becomes her go-to. And so it's loyalty in addition to the ones that she is buying for her own daughter. And so there's could be, for example, another product line that we're not focused on here, but there could be another product line that are just fun and interesting after they get the initial shoelaces. There could be other products down the line that help them do other savvy things. So then she's becoming a loyal customer. What does this look like? Julie buys every time a child turns 5. And she's having the thought, I know what to get little Bobby. And she feels excited, happy, satisfied. And she's interacting once again with the website and shopping cart. You see all the systems in the background, the website, marketing, logistics, customer service, finance. And then the last step here is becoming an ambassador for your company. So Julie is so happy after a period of time. She's had lots of shoelaces. She's given them away to lots of people. And now she shares a video on Instagram showing how great the laces have been for Pearl and for all people she's gifted them to before. And she's thinking, we should create a partnership with the Brooklyn Montessori where my child goes to school. She's feeling confident, empowered, and enthusiastic at that stage. And again, she's still interacting with the website and shopping cart and the same systems. So your journey is different for your avatar, right? It's unique, but each step is going to help you see. Now, I say that it's 17 steps. In a lot of cases, it's way more than 17 steps. So if you look at companies, whether you're an Oracle or a financial services company, an insurance company, any big company focused on customer experience will have a dozen steps for any one of these steps. This is a trimmed down customer journey to help you get started. You can start to see where to be remarkable, where you've got some really big gaping holes, where there's that high intensity feeling of excitement. You can celebrate with them, or where there's opportunities to improve, or where you have those problem resolution moments. Those are the places you want to dig in and be remarkable. Okay, the last step is to harvest the wisdom from this journey. So what did you learn from this experience of walking in your customers' shoes? What did you learn by having a specific avatar and working with them? What I wrote down here for Julie is there are some critical moments when Julie's emotions could have led her to not buy laces. We need to focus on helping her through those moments. The second question is, What did you discover that you hadn't considered before? In the case of Julie and Savvy Shoelaces, where they have to think of lots of new ways for customers to keep ordering from us, right? Because if your kid learns how to tie their shoes only one time, then what are we going to do? How are we going to keep this customer? Whether it's for other kids or new products we can sell as the child gets older. Are there other things we can sell at the same time or right after the laces have been purchased? They get some socks or what have you. So what are the opportunities right there to make this even more remarkable? The third question is, where are your customers' greatest desires, hopes, and aspirations along the journey? What are those specific wishes and desires? Where do you see that intensity? Where do you see that frustration, curiosity, excitement most profoundly? So for Julie, the moment when Julie opens the box, puts the laces in the shoes, and first tries them out with Pearl, that is her make or break moment. We need to figure out how to make sure this is always a moment of success and celebration, even if the child doesn't make any real progress tying shoes the first time. It needs to be great opening the box, turning on the video, and wearing them, that there is no feeling of pressure for the child to tie them right away. So look at this, how we're deepening the customer experience. We realize that Julie and their child are going to have a lot of trouble when they open that box, and kid's still not going to tie her shoelaces like she saw her friend do. Her friend had been at home practicing for 2 weeks. The last question here on this page is, where along the journey are your customers' greatest challenges, worries, doubts, and hesitations? What are the specific challenges and issues they are facing? So identify those moments. So looking through the 17 steps, you can see how Julie's has that fear, and as a mom, I relate to it. Fear of Pearl being upset, fear of Pearl not succeeding, fear that something's wrong with how me, the mom, Julie, is handling the problem, right? So identifying the moments of disappointment. And then the next question, question 5, where does your company already provide a positive experience supporting your customers' needs, wants, and problems? Name the top 3 areas. So where are you already great? So for Savvy Shoelaces, they identified great instructional videos that engage kids and parents, a great online experience, and the laces are great for little hands. So they feel good about that. What about you? Where do you feel good? Then question 6, where would it be most beneficial to the customer and to your company to be great? Which place along the journey? Which desire or problem to solve would result in your customer saying an unequivocal yes to being your customer? Julie and for their Savvy Shoelaces, when the laces arrive and the child and parent take them out of the box, the experience of using them for the first time is where we need to be great. It needs to be fun, engaging, celebratory. It needs to provide lots of easy guidance for getting started without any pressure. Deliver great first experiences and learning new skills, methods that are fun, engaging, and feel like a win no matter what. Okay, so good stuff, guys. You got to the end of the customer journey map. Congratulate yourself and acknowledge your and how far you've come. We've got deeper clarity, knowing, and practical power. So 17 detailed steps of your customer's experience. You've identified the critical emotions and moments that shape trust. You've identified moments of friction and opportunities to shine. And now you have a shared perspective you can align around your whole team. The clarity to design experiences that delight and retain customers. Remember, every bottleneck in your business can be traced to a moment in your customer journey that was never fully seen. All right, now you're going to go back and update your 4-page growth plan. Bottom of page 1, bottom of page 2. You're going to make some updates to all those sections and implement a high leverage habit. So what's one habit you can implement to stay connected to your 17-step customer journey weekly or monthly? Review one journey step in every weekly leadership meeting. Host a monthly voice of the customer reflection session. Share one customer story every Friday and reflect upon what part of the customer journey you're reflecting upon. Revisit and update your map quarterly. Integrate this journey into onboarding for every new team member. Scale doesn't come from more transactions. It comes from more moments of trust. The more you build this habit of reflecting upon your customer's journey and making every experience seamless, beautiful, and delightful, it will transform and elevate your company. One high potency action, a one-time high impact action that propels your company forward. What could that be? So we have habits that are things we do over and over again, and we have high potency actions, one-time actions that really move us forward. So this hopefully is helping you see something insightful about how you can be more remarkable as a company. What's one action you will take this week to bring your customer journey to life? So maybe you interview 3 customers to validate your journey. Maybe you create a visible customer journey wall in your office. Maybe you train your team to use this journey in their daily work. Maybe you identify and fix your top 2 friction points. Maybe you draft a customer story illustrating each step. Breakthrough decisions start by asking, what does my shared avatar feel right here in this situation? And then you're able to unlock transformation for your company and for your customer. You defined one core growth element, that being the 17-step customer journey. You learned how to use the customer journey map. You integrated them into the 4-page growth plan. You identified a higher leverage habit to repeat and help bringing back to mind your customer journey. And you committed to one high potency action that will help you implement your customer journey and make it truly remarkable. The best companies just don't meet needs. They anticipate feelings and rise to meet them. So, next step on your journey. If you haven't already, pick up the book, A Force for Good, and review chapter 7, which talks about the area of chosen greatness and how the 17 steps fits into that, along with the shared avatar. So you can get this book at aforceforgood.biz/book. It also includes all of the tools of the toolkit, including the customer journey map. So you can have access to all the tools just by buying the book. Every week, we launch a new tool and masterclass just like this one. It remains for free for 1 week. And you're able to get access to that at aforceforgood.biz/weekly-tool. Remember, the world is made better by women-led business. Let's all go make the world a better place.